All right, friends. Hello, Mark Harrington here with Created Equal, and want to take a minute and bring you an update. We're live with our partners in Southern California, Project Truth, and so I want to give a couple seconds for people to jump on here. We're streaming this live on my Facebook page, The Mark Harrington Show. You can go there and follow this. We want you to comment during the live stream so you can answer our questions or give us any comments you have as we talk about what's going on there in Hollywood. So my good friend and colleague and warrior in the battle, Don Blythe, is with us. Don, we affectionately call, well, he calls himself Don the Baptist. I like to call him Jumbotron Don, because he's got the Jumbotron behind him, which they are taking around Southern California right now. Yesterday, I believe they were in Hollywood. So, hey, Don, how's it going out there in sunny Southern California?
Well, it is sunny, a little overcast, but still the sun's out. And we're outside the Anaheim Planned Parenthood Abortion Center. And we have a team of people talking to the couples coming in, and we've already had 2 or 3 couples come in, and we're out witnessing to them and sharing with them the truth and hoping we might save some babies this morning.
So let's do this. If you would pan over and show the abortion center, what Don is pointing to. It's across the street there, but as you can tell, we have our Jumbotron up. This is one of 2 Jumbotrons that are in the United States. One here we have at Created Equal. Project Truth, which is Don's group, also has a Jumbotron, and they are using it today in Southern California. They also take it all over the place in California, Northern California as well. So, hey, Don, we've been trying to get into Southern California for a while, but because you live in the communist state of California, for the last year, almost nothing's been open. Things seem to be opening up a little bit more. It's been a while since we've been down in Southern California, but now you've got the weapon of mass destruction behind you, which is this gigantic screen. Hey, Don, move a little bit to your right there so everybody can see it. There you go. Just to your right. There you go. So here's our screen. Now, admittedly, this is hugely disturbing. That's the point. That we set this up in front of Planned Parenthoods. We go to high schools with it. We go to college campuses with it. Hey, Don, I mean, you guys use it out front of abortion facilities fairly routinely. How does it work?
You know, it's very powerful. We were in front of an abortion clinic yesterday in Whittier, California, and we had it set up, and there was a young lady who had taken her friend into the abortion clinic, and she was sitting in her car having about a 15-minute dialogue with me, and I was in a direct line where she was talking to me, but she couldn't help but see the Jumbotron right behind me. And so she got more and more troubled while we were having this conversation, and I could just point to the Jumbotron, and she eventually started breaking down and started crying because she realized that her arguments and her questions were being answered by this large Jumbotron filled with the reality of what abortion really is. And so it really convicted her, and she was under a lot of struggle. She knew that what she was doing was wrong by bringing her friend into the abortion clinic. So we also use it in another abortion clinic in Northern California, and we actually have people will come by in their cars because other people have told them you need to go see this, and so people will actually drive by the abortion clinic just so they could see the Jumbotron, because it literally blows people away. They are just stunned by what they see. And right. You had a really good quote by a Hollywood mogul that said he wanted abortion to be more on the big screen.
That's right.
So here we are bringing it to the big screen.
Well,
so we're going to use his words against him.
That's
And
right.
we were
Well,
just in Hollywood. We were just in Hollywood yesterday, and we were on Hollywood Boulevard with it, and we were in front of the more famous sites. And the Jumbotron is just a great, effective tool for rescuing babies and showing people the reality of what abortion really is.
well, I think it was about a year ago that Michelle Williams appeared on the Golden Globes and received her award and made that big national story when she thanked abortion for the fact that she was able to pursue her acting career, if you recall. And,
Yeah.
Hollywood's full of people like that. They use the big screen to promote abortion, but they don't tell anyone what it really is. We're using a big screen. It may not be as big as what Hollywood might be able to use, but we're kind of the counterpoint to the Hollywood narrative that abortion is health care and it's a woman's right and all that good stuff. And that's why we're bringing it into Hollywood this week. Don, the issue of abortion victim photography has been a debate amongst pro-lifers for decades. I think it's kind of simmered down, let's say. I think most people pretty much have come to the conclusion that victim photography works. The Jumbotron, however, is kind of a new thing. I always said, if a picture's worth 1,000 words, a video's worth 1,000,000 words. You guys use this technique regularly. And could you make a defense for why you use victim photography? Because there'll be people watching this video will probably think to themselves that this isn't helpful. That's just going to drive women away. They're going to either run into the clinic or they're just not going to listen to you if you have this big gory video of an abortion in front of them.
Well, yes. Most people are familiar with how a person will remember like 5 or 10% of what they hear, and they'll what they read, and they have all these statistics about how much a brain will remember something. And when you're talking about a picture, you're talking about them remembering 10 times more than if they just read about it. So just from a natural standpoint, our bodies are 5 senses, and those 5 senses are all at work in the Jumbotron. Rather than just saying, hey, please don't have an abortion, when you show them what an abortion is, I oftentimes think about all the leaders that are in the pro-life movement. Many of those leaders, if not all of them, were impacted to such a degree by the disturbing pictures of injustice. That's why they're in the pro-life movement leaders, as pro-life movement leaders now. They're pro-life leaders because of the graphic, disturbing images.
Well, that's one of the main reasons I'm in it. I don't know about you, but that's one of the things that impacted me. In fact, it was probably one of the primary things.
Right. So just the mere fact of just look at the people that are leaders in the pro-life movement. When I was in college, I didn't really care about abortion, didn't know anything about it. It was a word. But when I actually saw Dr. Edward Allred, who is a big abortionist here in California for until recently, he retired. When I saw him perform an abortion on a documentary, that changed my life. I'm 40 years now in the pro-life movement, and I was changed by what I saw. And it's just hypocritical for anybody to say that this isn't impacting. This is the impact. This is the biggest impact on people's lives, and so I don't have any.
What do you say? What do you say to people who say, there's a time and a place? If you would, hey Hannah, move a little bit to the right so we get the screen. I want everybody to see there. There you go. What do you say to people who think that it's not appropriate? That pictures of live babies out front of an abortion center make sense, but victim photography, pictures of abortion victims, don't work in front of abortion centers. I'm of the opinion I think they need displayed everywhere. Frankly, I think there's almost no place where they shouldn't be. Maybe not in front of a daycare or targeting children, but they work everywhere we take them.
Well, for us, I here in California, it actually is kind of the talk right now among pro-lifers whether or not to use the victim photography. So it's kind of it's in fact, tomorrow night we're doing a training, and that's going to be one of the big issues. Is there's 2 or 3 churches that want to come out and start doing sidewalk counseling, and this is going to be their biggest question. They want to know justifying of the photos. I oftentimes use several different ideas. One of the ideas is we're 40 plus years into the abortion industry.
Almost 50.
Really? Yeah, that's right. You want to argue or debate with me about what's appropriate and what's necessary? There are 60 million plus dead babies. Please. And then the other thing I oftentimes say with people that ask me this, I say, so how are you doing? How effective are you in rescuing babies from an abortion clinic? And too often, in fact, almost every time, they're not even out in front of abortion clinics. So they have their views, which I don't mind them sharing their views, but they don't really have a lot of meat and potatoes in their ideas. It's just kind of fluff. And so I oftentimes say to them, I've been a part of over 4,000 babies being saved by being in front of abortion clinics, and we try everything. We do everything we can to save the babies, just like you would do. Is if you saw somebody dying, you would do everything you could to try to save them, and you wouldn't care about whether or not it was appropriate in somebody else's eyes. You would plead with them. And I've had numerous couples who have said to me, that picture saved my baby's life. In fact, the sign, this is one of my favorite signs, Child Sacrifice Center.
Yeah.
That sign, when I first brought that out, I had Christians criticize me. That's a little harsh, Don. That's a little strong. I said, do you not realize that's what abortion is? It's harsh. And so we're bringing the righteous into that. And so the first day I brought this sign out, the very first day, the first 2 people that went into the abortion clinic came out within a few minutes, got back in their cars, drove in front of me or next to me on the street, and rolled down their window and said, "Hey, mister, I just want you to know that sign changed our minds." That's a powerful sign. So while I got Christian brothers and sisters criticizing us for the sign, or even unbelievers as well, saying, you guys are being too harsh, abortion is an act of violence that kills an innocent baby. It exploits women. It destroys families. How in the world can you not be passionate about just doing everything you can to try to save babies? And so, is there a time and a place? Yeah, there's a time and a place. This is an abortion clinic. This is the time and the place. So I try to be nice to people about it, but I try to make it real clear to them, we're in a battle here, and we've got to try to convince them. And I don't have people refuse to take my literature because of this sign and because of this Jumbotron. We have people that come up and talk to us. Yesterday in Whittier, we had 2 or 3 people that were talking to us about it and dialoguing, and we were trying to save their babies. And so it is very effective, and it's necessary to change the hearts and minds. We're here to prick the conscience of people, and you're not going to do that by just mere words alone.
Okay, well, my guest today is Don Blythe, and Don's with Project Truth. And Project Truth is one of our partners out in Southern California, and he is in, he's not in the Hollywood area. Where are you exactly? What city again?
We are less than a mile from Disneyland. We are actually in Anaheim.
How inappropriate
We're in
that
Anaheim,
is to have an abortion
California.
mill out front of Disneyland.
Oh, it's
Amazing.
right down the street. It's not very far from here. And we're right here near Disneyland. And it's kind of a fancy, nice looking building here, but this is the Anaheim Planned Parenthood Abortion Center. And we'll be going to a couple other abortion clinics. In fact, one of the busiest abortion clinics here in California. We will be there on Friday. And so we go out and try to rescue babies and change people's hearts. And I was out in front of an abortion clinic one time, and a lady was walking by with her kid in a stroller, and she started to go by me, and I told her, I said, boy, that's a beautiful little gift from God. And she stopped, and she backed up, and she looked at me, and she said, you know, there's more to this story. And I said, oh, really? And she said, I just want you to know, I was across the street a little over a year ago. I was across the street waiting for the bus, and you had that disturbing picture of what an abortion looked like. And I looked at that while I was waiting for the bus, and I went home and I told my mom and my fiance, I am canceling my abortion appointment at that abortion clinic, because there was a man standing out there with a picture of what an abortion looks like. And I said to myself, I couldn't do that to another human being. And she goes, so I went home and told my mom and fiance, and my fiance took responsibility for the baby and married me and has a good job. And this little boy is the result of your picture in front of the abortion clinic.
Yeah.
And there I am sitting in front of the abortion clinic saying, this is why we do what we do. If I had not had that picture out there, if I was just handing out literature and nothing else, sure, we're going to save some babies, but we're going to save all the rest of the babies by having the dramatic images of the injustice of abortion. And so I got a picture with her. I have it at home, a picture of her and her baby. And I just told her, I almost was mad at her, because I said, wait a minute, you were going to walk by me and not tell me that story? I said, how could you not tell me that story? And so how many more thousands of people all over our country who have been impacted by our displays outside abortion clinics or on sidewalks, on busy street corners? We were on a busy street corner a few miles from Disneyland on Ball Road, for those that know Southern California. We were on a busy intersection, and we set up our signs on 4 corners, and we had our displays out there challenging people. In 1 hour, there were over 5,000 cars that drove by us. Mm-hmm. Imagine the people we impacted with that.
Well, that's our Operation Overpass. That's what we call it, Operation Overpass. You guys do it there in California. Don Blyce with me. He's coming to us from Southern California. He's out front of a Planned Parenthood facility there near Disneyland. And folks, I want you to take notice here on June 13 and 14. We have the Day of Action coming up. You can go to createdequal.org and sign up. The Day of Action is a 2-day event. It's actually more than 1 day. But the first day we train you in the classroom. The second day we take you out into the streets of the city here in Columbus, like Don is today in Southern California. You know, Don, we both know Greg Cunningham. I was with CBR for many years. And Greg always used to say that no successful social reform movement has succeeded in outlawing injustice by covering it up. It's true. We cannot be part of the cover up. Planned Parenthood's doing a good enough job at that by themselves. We don't want to be participating in the cover up. And so I'd rather show the pictures of abortion. I'm going to anger a few people along the way, but that's a okay trade-off for me, for them to be angry with me but hate abortion. I'll take it every single time, because this isn't a popularity contest that we're involved in. Social reformers are always hated, and they're hated because they're going against the grain of culture. We're never going to be liked by the dominant culture who kills babies. That's just the way it is. And we've got to show what's going on if you have any chance of the nation repenting. So, folks, if you have questions or a comment, you can go to my page at the Mark Harrington Show. Let me know what you think. Do you think it's appropriate to be using abortion victim photography out front of abortion centers on a Jumbotron or anything else? What is your experience with these types of images? As you know, Don's been in it for a long time. Don, 30 years, a veteran in the fight, part of Operation Rescue in the days past. We're standing on the shoulders of giants, Don. I mean, people that have gone before us. I think this technology is really the future. I think it's going to be used all over America. I wish we had dozens of jumbotrons. Right now we have two, one in Ohio, one in California, and Don's putting it to good use. Say, Don, let's try to wrap this up. What's the plan for the rest of the week for you guys there in Southern California, in Hollywood? What are your plans?
We'll be in a couple other outside a couple other abortion clinics. This morning we set up on our overpass. We're trying to copy our great brother Mark Harrington. We were on the I-5 overpass, the busiest highway in all of America.
I'm envious. And we don't have an I-5 here. We don't get as many eyeballs as you do, but it's still hugely effective.
Well, we were there this morning from 6 to 9. We counted not every one of them, but we counted them by the minute. There were over 50,000 cars that went by our display that was on the overpass. And so the impact is just really powerful. And so we love doing it. And in fact, I don't know if you saw it in the background, but we just had the police come and they're checking us out.
Yeah, I'm sure that's kind of par for the course, right?
But you know what? They just drove by and left.
Okay.
They drove by and left, so we're good. But well, we love doing what we do.
We're considered we're methods of mass instruction. Right, mass instruction.
Well, and we've had really good results with the police. Most of the police, we'll be in Huntington Beach this weekend. We'll be in Huntington Beach, setting up right there where tens of thousands of people usually go during the summer. So there might not be as many, but we're going to be at Huntington Beach. We're going to be set up there with our displays. We hand out really good information about abortion. I have a really good brochure. And so we'll be there. So we got 3 or 4 more places that we're going to be this week, and just changing the hearts and lives of one person at a time, and trying to end this scourge of abortion that's on our land.
Well, we very much appreciate our partnership with you, Don, and Project Truth. We don't want to rely on the typical mass media right now, which is social media. Even there, we're being censored. You're not censored in the public square for the most part. As you said, the police came and they left. It's an area where we can.
Oh, I lost him. No, I lost you, Mark. But if you can't hear me, hey, Mark, I want you to know I love being a fellow laborer and warrior with you in your ministry. Okay. He's debating somebody out there. He's having a conversation with someone. Yes. I just want you guys to know I consider Mark Harrington my deepest brother, and I appreciate Created Equal and all they do to inspire me and help me to keep my focus and keep our eye on the prize, which is the gift of eternal life through Jesus Christ. And so I appreciate Mark. I appreciate you guys, and we love being your West Coast affiliate. So Lord bless you guys, and we'll continue doing our thing out here.